Paddle sports on the water are a popular pastime here in BC. Canoeing, kayaking, stand-up paddleboarding, but they also come with a certain level of risk, the potential for drowning. Well, we've come to the Jericho Kayak Centre here in Vancouver to learn some tips and tricks about how to stay safe on the water. Hey EJ, how's it going?
Hi Joel, so nice to meet you.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course.
EJ is the BC Director for Paddle Canada, a not-for-profit organization focused on paddling education and certification. Every year, it offers 2,000 courses across the country with more than 12,000 participants. EJ is going to take me out on a kayak, but first things first, we need to fix my outfit. He says the cotton's got to go. Okay, EJ,
Perfect.
I have finished squishing myself into that wetsuit. You have a dry suit?
Yes.
So we're almost ready, but I see you have something else.
Yeah, so we always want to wear a PFD when we go out on the water, and we want to make sure we always wear it and it's always zipped up.
Yeah, so we have been hearing about life jackets and the importance of life jackets for water safety, from a very young age, especially if you go to swimming lessons. Does that message get through?
So I find what I see around here, most people do, but often the more recreational people get in their craft, so stand-up paddle boards or the recreational kayaks or even power boats, people start to just take their life jackets off, and that is not okay.
Drowning is a preventable public health issue in Canada. Yet the Life Saving Society says around 460 Canadians die from drowning every year. And it says 80% of boating deaths involve people who aren't wearing a life jacket. EJ says life jackets need to be zipped up and tightened so they are nice and snug.
So one nice test always is you want to pull your shoulder straps and see how far you can pull it up. It shouldn't really go up above your ears.
So this is a fail?
Yeah, you might actually want to tighten that a little bit more.
Next, we focus on what to pack.
So there are some pieces of equipment that are required by Transport Canada that we always bring, which includes the PFD we already talked about, which includes the whistle. You always want to bring a paddle, as well as a pump and a throwback.
He also recommends packing a dry bag filled with a full set of warm clothing, a first aid kit, water and snacks, a paddle float which helps to get back into your kayak if you capsize, a phone in a waterproof case, and VHF radio. We have the proper clothing, the proper equipment, we've checked the forecast, the tides, EJ has all the training, and with that, it's time to get on the water. We launch out into English Bay, the North Shore Mountains and the Vancouver cityscape serving as our backdrop. We even had a visitor. Paddling water sports are popular on rivers, lakes, and the ocean, but open water, like where we are now, presents its own unique challenges.
Open water, one of the things we definitely see quite a bit here is there's always some wind. So you want to be prepared for the wind and again for those changing conditions. So the wind just makes the water a little bit rougher. You always want to start by going into the wind so you have the wind in your back coming home. Otherwise people just paddle way too far and then they won't be able to make it back.
He says kayakers should also be careful around currents and large crossings that seem closer than they actually are.
The biggest thing always is training, right? Knowing how to actually behave in that environment, having the kayaking skills to prevent a capsize, but even if you were to capsize, having the skills to get back into your boat.
Okay, so EJ, for anyone who wants to take up kayaking, but they might see it as a little daunting or even a little scary, what advice would you give them?
Yeah, honestly, just take a lesson, right? Learn from instructors, learn from those who know what they're doing, and then they can teach you to kind of get started and paddle in the conditions that are basically right for your skill level.
Surrounded with so much beauty and with such easy access, it's hard not to be tempted to BC's waters. And by being prepared, experts like EJ say they can be safely enjoyed time and time again. Joel Ballard, CBC News, Vancouver.